Congo TV, in our studio in Farata here. And here with me are the members of SASA, Student
Advocacy
Student Advocacy and
and
Support
Support
association.
Association.
Yes.
And before we delve into the topic, I will just give them this opportunity to introduce themselves to those watching us live on Congo TV. And I start with one on my right.
Okay. To begin with, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. My name is Aisha Dusanya, and I am the program coordinator of Stuttering Advocacy and Support Association.
Thank you so very much, Aisatu, for that introduction. And can we go to on my left?
Okay, thank you so much, Ali, for having us. My name is Yabuki Sala, the assistant IPRO for SASA.
Exactly. Thank you so very much, Aisatu. And thank you so very much, Jabu, for coming here to have this program. I believe it is going to be a very interesting program because, like, when you look at the topic, you will tell, like, this topic is going to be very interesting. Why? Because many people are going through this. First of all, the program coordinator.
Okay.
What motivated you guys to come up with this association?
Okay. First of all, personally, I am not somebody who status. Like I don't status. I'm not somebody who stammers. But then I have seen how people who status have been treated in our societies. So in Statutory Advocacy and Support Association, we stand to advocate for people who status. So I believe advocacy is by standing with others, even whereas I am not somebody who status, but I believe there is a need for us to come out with such an an association to stand for the voices of people who status.
Exactly. So this was the main reason why you exactly try to join others to come up with this association. And just like you say, you're not somebody who do stammer. You don't stammer.
No.
It's just that you feel like people. So what have you ever encountered any scenario where somebody who stammer on the go, which prompted you to join hands with these people to have this association?
Okay, so I'll just bring one scenario that happens to myself. I was involved anyway with somebody else's. Like when growing up as a kid, sometimes we have so many misconceptions about stuttering. So at a point we would think stuttering is just a disability. Like we would just be thinking like those people that stammers are different creatures. They are not just human beings like us. So I will give one scenario. I used to have a friend who stutters. So to an extent, if he's talking, I will feel like I'm not always patient, I can say. I will feel like he's wasting time. And I'll be like, hey, itaria, you just let me just find my way. To an extent, I will even be calling him like Bibirango, like Bibirango. I use that Bibirango just to associate to howsoever he speaks. Exactly. I will call him Bibirango. So when I grew up, like me, I am somebody who is not that very open to public speaking. Like I will say, not because I cannot do it, but there is always this nervousness in. Like I can say it's normal for anybody to be nervous. Sometimes I am nervous, but at least to a point when it gets to the worst, I will just try and do my best. But for people who started, they always don't want to take a step. You understand? Because they always have this fear of people mocking them, people teasing them, people laughing at them. So when I realized that as somebody who stands for advocacy, I realized that I concluded that we should I should join people that stands or that fight for the people who started. So that was the time I saw the Babu, who is our president. He is also somebody who started. He could have been here with us, but due to some health issues, he couldn't make it. So when I saw it on status, somebody posted it on status. I saw it. I was like, I only hope I will not join this. This is about stuttering. Though I'm not somebody who started, but I think people who started are not being included. So how about I join this? So when I clicked on the link, I just took the number on the link to communicate to Babu. So he started asking me so many questions. Will you do this? Will you do that? Will you advocate for people and stuff like that? I was like, yes, I can do it. I will try my best. So that was how I joined this association.
Exactly.
And then so far we have selected our executives, and then we are doing well. We are
Masha.
seeing a future for this
Yeah,
association.
we are hoping that people are going to learn a lot from this, and people's mentality are going to change as far as student advocacy and support association is concerned. And to Jabu, Jabu, you are the IPRO of this noble association. Exactly.
The deputy.
The deputy IPRO. So how many members do you have in this association?
Currently, we are not very much because currently we are not that much large number. We are around less than 100 right now.
Okay. What actually motivated Jabu to join this association? Just like Sanyan has said her own side of the story. So we expect Jabu also to bring out something so that the viewers can learn from.
Okay, just like Isa said, advocacy doesn't mean that you have to be directly affected, but you have to show that you care for the people that are affected. But I would say I am also not somebody that's do that, but in some way I have speak disorder. That is, I have articulation disorder, which means I have problem in pronouncing some words, especially those with R. So when I see this growing up, like Isa said, Babu also, our president, said a story of him. As he grew up, he wasn't given that much chance in class to participate because teachers feel like he is wasting time. But growing up, teachers did support me, but my fellow students always mock me whenever growing up, I was somebody active in public speaking because I never let their words get to me. But they always discriminate and always mock me. And there was this specific word that they even used to call me back then in junior school. Always, and growing up, I have a dream of becoming a lawyer or a journalist, but students tell me, you that cannot even speak properly, how can you be a journalist or a lawyer? And back then at home also, my own siblings also do say that. So when I see this SASA on social media, just like I saw it on social media, I also saw it there. I was like, since I can change my past, because I wanted to be a lawyer, but because of what they said, I deferred. I can change the past, but I will at least try to help those that are out there. Let us come up with this association and then let them accept themselves the way they are. Let's advocate for them so that they also do not be victimized in this being bullied because of the way they speak.
Exactly. So, Jabu, do you think that those affected would be willing to come forward in order to actually realize that, because we can't say that it is a disability, but it is something that one can overcome. So do you think those affected will be ready to come forward and join this association?
Yeah, currently we have some of them with us because we have been doing school outreaches. Wherever we go, we ask for the numbers of those that stammer. And some of them come on board, but some of them still feel reluctant because they feel like when I come out, if that I am admitting to the people that I have a disability, or they still will mock me for more because of this. But we still have a lot of them that are still joining, and then we hope more will join us for us to raise awareness on this topic.
Exactly. What are some of the plans that SASA is putting in place to ensure that those reluctant would actually realize that they also have potential that they can, or they also have talent that they can showcase through SASA?
As SASA is a new association, but we are still on plans doing ongoing activities because we're continuing on school outreaches. We're also on TV shows and radio shows, whereas we promote and continue advocate for these people. We think as time goes on, if we normalize these things and we accept them as the way they are, they will eventually come and join us and accept themselves in society. We are trying to raise awareness in society to accept them, and with patience and support.
Exactly. But Sanya, I said, what are some of the difficulties that these tutoring pose on people that are going to school, especially in academia?
Okay. So in this aspect, like most of the people who stammers are going through difficulties, not only in our communities, even in our schools, as you said, as you give a school as an example, because sometimes they will be in the class, a teacher will ask a question, they will not answer the question. Not because they cannot answer those questions, but because they are always afraid that if we speak, people will laugh, people will mock, people will tease. And here, not this is not only the responsibility of the students around them, but also it can also be the responsibility of teachers. Because if you're dealing with somebody whose status, you have to be somebody who is patient. You have to be somebody who is willing to listen. You have to be somebody who is willing to stand for the voices of such people. You have to understand that it is not a disability. They are people that are just like us. So for teachers, for instance, what they will have to do is that they will have to listen with patience. Like anytime an opportunity comes whereby these affected people can answer, they should give them chances to talk. They should not always be in a haste saying that they will waste time, they will do this or that. Because if that happens, those people who started, their capabilities are being hindered.
Exactly.
There are so many things, there are potentials in them, but because of certain things, they may not be able to come out and speak. That is why, as an association, SASA, we use this platform so that we can reach to the wider audience. We can spread awareness about stuttering. We want to show the whole world or the whole Gambia that stuttering is not a sign of low intelligence. People who stutter are intelligent. Like, let's look at the example of Joe Biden. Joe Biden was once a president of the United States. He also shared his experiences with stuttering. So that shows that people who stutter, there are potentials in them. They are capable. They can do whatsoever others are doing. So like I said earlier, if since this is a platform that will reach to the wider world or to the wider audience, we want to urge all teachers or everybody else that are dealing with such people, what they will have to do is let them always listen to them. Let them always help them. They are not different. This is just a speech difference. It's not a sign of mental issues or any other form of disabilities. Sometimes it is related to how the brain processes speeches or languages. Sometimes also it can be genetics, like it runs in some families. So sometimes also some people started not because they want to start it, but because of the situation they found themselves. Because as kids, when growing up, we all started in one way or the
Exactly.
other. So sometimes some will outgrow it and some will later continue with it. So stuttering is just a speech difference, but it's not a sign of low intelligence or any other thing.
Exactly. So that is it. Like you see, it's not about being not intelligent, but I have seen a lot of people who do stutter, but they're very intelligent. They do stammer, but say
Exactly.
they're very intelligent. When it comes to exam, it will be with a whole lot of people that are actually always laughing at them. So now you said you are doing school outreach. Are you also involving the teachers? Because teachers are also key. They are also stakeholders in this, one could say.
Yes,
Because like
exactly.
if they are not being patient with those who stammer, it will be difficult for them to
Exactly. They will be left out.
Yeah. So do you also involve teachers to have that interaction with them?
Yes, like Jabu said, so far we have visited three or four schools whereby we'll speak to principals and they will give us the opportunity to face the student body and spread awareness about stuttering.
How many schools have you visited so far?
So far, three or four
Yeah,
schools.
4 schools.
We have visited 4 schools so far.
In West Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
West Coast.
no problem. So Jabu, I think it will be important that switch to local languages.
Yeah.
Not even, I know it's not going to be easy, but we are not only speaking to the students. We are
Yes.
also speaking to those who stand at home.
Yeah.
They are not going to school because they are afraid that their friends are going to laugh at them. So it feta mi ko mi yalon ko be so kono.
Okay.
Many be so kono alien ko fanan target.
Okay, then I speak in Wolof
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it's
okay,
fine. Yeah.
okay. Na ngeen def yéen yëpp ñu ngi leen di nuyu. This is SASA, Student Advocacy and Support Association. Association bu bees la boo xamante ne mu ngi advocate for people that ñoo xamante ne dañ dee det. So soo nekkee koo xamante ne dañ dee det, dañ bugga nga accept yourself the way you are because you are not alone. Research shows that 1% of the world, that is 8 million to 7 million people in the whole world, stutter. So you should accept yourself, because that is the way God creates you, and it is not a limitation to you. And then to the parents or the caregivers, you should encourage your siblings or whosoever that stood up in your family to accept themselves, because the best way to help the person is when the person actually accept themselves. Because it is difficult for people to come even to encourage you when you have not fully accepted yourself. Maybe for instance, man su ma ñëwee ma ne la Aïssa, it is okay, yow mën nga det loolu nekku dara. If Aïssa didn't accept herself, mom su nangoon ne moom loolu nekkul problem, moom mën naa wax ne jabu kii daf maa rey, because you know that I have this disability or something. Ngeen ñëw fii di pretend as if it is fine while it is not. So if you are somebody that stood up, boo nekkee ko xamante ne danga dee det, loolu nekkul problem. We have seen great people, like Aïssa said, Joe Biden ko xamante ne is a former president of America, moom buuri America la woon. He is somebody, moom tamit daf daan det, but after he some way try to overcome that stuttering and become a very great leader in the whole world. And then we have somebody called King George VI, who was a king of UK, who was also somebody that stood up, but in one way or the other, he tried to overcome and even led his country to a war where they emerged victorious. So I'm saying, my wax lii pour ñoo xamante ne ñu ngi det, nekk koo xamante ne daf dee det, miinu ne yow mënuloo def loo xamante ne ñeneen ñu ngi koo def.
aduna bi yombul de jafe-jafe trop.
jafe kay.
So I'm to Sanyang. I think you also need to say something because ngala ne kamel fanan go suwokam. Yen dalon na ko bi jabunin ay satu. Ibe mu ne fo kan tele bu be sayam fanan si kan. Kan do betara suwokon me anga fan ka bib. So mu ne fo lo le mel be suwokon.
Saying, like, first of all, parents or our family have a big role to play. Katun ko ne ajibe sometimes mul mi yalan ko e ka bibile. Ni aje la bibo nyin ka wajabi ila wululal wala mul mi yalan ko ni be so kono wala na aka wajabi, because ibuke ima koy mi ibuka pare ke la muyila ni lafta ka diam fango aka ke ife time we solti e kala fi yetriya ye diam doron e lafta ka min fo yafo ayta. So mbe min fala mi yalan ko be so kono parents or guardians o mo mi yalan ko e be so kono e be la moy kan e be nyin TV so jibe kan be min fole ko ni mo so do so ko mi yalan ko bibilalon bibiro manke sasati amenke sasati amenke ko mi nimmo bibida ata fen achieve la no life kono mo mi yalan ko aka bibi asa fen wo fen kenu alafta min kela asa keno fen wo fenti alafta min kela, but follow minto. The person have to be somebody, as Jabu said, that accepts him or herself. You will have to accept yourself in order for people around you to accept you. And you take multi me alonku. Ye life ngole ye song ifangolo ko eka bibile. Ni woketa ibaje la mul mimbe dal will be ma ko la nol. But you as an individual ni me fango accept ya tandi ko nden momenti nka bibile, but I am just a normal human as anybody else. So you have this concept that ninfintida nindiam to mulbe jelalale ninga nyinke ntefen sotolaji or stuffs like that, you will never go forward and you will never overcome that stuttering. So the responsibilities parents have is that, and I will keep repeating this, if they have or they are dealing with somebody who stutters, they will have to always give a listening ear, and they will also have to be patient always. Let them not complete their sentences for them. Like, I might not be able to talk on behalf of everybody who stutters, but some people, if you want to complete their sentences for them, they become pissed off. You understand? So that is also something else. So in order for you to help them, whatsoever they want to say, no matter how long the sentence is,
to be, you need to allow them to
you need to allow them to complete it. Exactly. Do not complete their sentences for them. Do not tease, do not mock, do not take advantage of them, because they can do whatsoever other people are doing. They are not sick. The only difference is the speech.
Exactly. Jabu, sorry. One could say like having a foundation or an association like this is not going to be easy because like you are trying to help people that one could see it, something that is in depth. something that is in them, one could say, like they born with it, but later on it can change. So what are some of the difficulties, even though the Tutoring Advocacy and Support Association is newly established? What are some of the challenges that so far you're faced with?
Um, just like you say, it's a new association. The only challenges we are facing right now is because we want to reach out to the wider public, and our school outreaches is now centered in West Coast here. But as time goes on, we want to go beyond just the West Coast. That is with those that are in the rural Gambia. And what is actually stopping us right now is finances. That is our main challenge right now. And also the people who stood up, we have few people that are willing to volunteer. But Alhamdulillah, we have some people that are now joining us since we started the outreaches. People have seen our posts on social media. We have a page on Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. So some people have started reaching out to us.
Exactly. So are you trying to explain to those who stood up that they can do it? Is that
Yeah,
part of your advocacy?
that is what that is even our main advocacy. We want to tell those that stood that they can make it. Like Isa said, Joe Biden, who is a former president of America, have overcome stuttering and managed to be a great leader. And King George, who I have mentioned, and many others. Alisa said in her one of her questions while answering that people who stood have exceptional capabilities in depth. So when you learn to accept yourself the way you are, you come out of your cage, then you can achieve great.
Exactly. So Aisa, aside from the financial challenges that Jabu has highlighted, do you have any other challenges that you're faced with?
For now, like this association is a newly initiated association. We may not be facing so many challenges as at now, but one of the challenges that is a challenge and is also emotional, like if we go on our school outreach, when we figure out some of the students who started at the end, like I can remember when we went to St. Francis, there was this particular student. Yabu asked her few questions, how the society reacts to her speech difference and other stuffs. But then the girl started crying. She started crying. So that was the time we realized that there are only fewer people that are standing for people who studied. And that is a challenge for us. Like, for example, I am somebody who is so very emotional. When I see somebody crying or when I see tears, I will also begin to cry. So I can say this is probably one of our challenges. And also, as Jabu said, finance, because it's a newly formed association and it is not a profit-based association. But I still believe with finances, the association can move effectively and smoothly.
Exactly. Just like you said this, I think this seems to not only you, but it is always emotional when you meet those who normally stammer and they started narrating their stories to you, you will tend to cry. Why? Because I could remember the friends that we were moving with when he started talking, people would be laughing at him. It went up to a point when we were in school that he wouldn't speak. Even if he knew something, he would keep it to himself. And this has really disturbed him. But to my surprise, whenever we sit on exam, he defeated a whole lot of people that
They
were
are good.
actually laughing at
They
him.
can really do
So
it,
you understand.
honestly.
So that shows that those who stutter or those who stammer are human beings just like us. It is
Exactly.
just that you say we have speak difference. That is only
Yeah.
thing, speak difference.
Yeah.
Because they also talk. And also completing their stories for them is always irritating.
Exactly.
They don't have like that.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and Jabu, are you guys reaching out to these non-governmental organizations to explain this association to them so that they can understand what you people are doing? It's really a move in the right direction.
Yeah, we have that is part of our future plans. Yes, we say there's a new association. We are currently working on our ground. We already have our constitution ready, and then the registration process is always almost done. Then after that, we also trying to improve our visibility, let them see what we're doing, because it is always difficult for us to come and say, tell them this is SASA, this is what we do when they haven't seen. Most of the time, when you reach out to these NGOs or other, how to call it, other personal people that helps, they usually go online, check what you people have been doing. So we want to work on our ground first, makes the people see that yes, this is SASA, and we are advocating for people that stammer. And then after, we can go ahead and reach out to the people, potential people that could help us take this association high and also impact lives.
So, Simon, are you people planning also like you want to be visible to people? Yeah, that is true, right?
Yes.
I know that's you want to be visible. What about going with those who stammer also to have TV show with them? Is that part of your plans?
That is part of our plans. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you could remember, our president, the person that came up with the idea, he is our president. His name is Baba Seka. He should have been with us, like I said, but due to some health complications, yes, he couldn't make it. So we also have somebody like my deputy, who is Fode Jabai. He's also somebody who started, and earlier on, was it on Tuesday, they also had their TV show in one of the TVs, and he was so delighted to share his experiences on TV. So, like as I said, we have Babu, who is also somebody who started, and anywhere we go, they are always willing to share their experiences so that they can also inspire and motivate people who started to accept themselves and know they also belong.
Exactly. So I think this is something that is really good, and we people must commend you people for coming with such a great initiative, because this is what is lacking in many people. This is why those with speak difference are actually feeling like they're being people who are been disregarded, been left out by the whole community, and people don't even just look at them. So, Jabu. Okay, Sanya. I think it will be important that we say this in Mandinga also, so that people could understand. Comme il y a faut que les accords de caminhos sur o lama, na li fata mol mameli alam ko ka people. Sa ne ko mo fare asi balafa. You understand?
Okay. Saying comme nga fa nyami nung English angale ko to. Like model bije meli alam ko ka bibi. Ni dada pour ko wol meet pre you have one-to-one conversation with them. Jandi ka start ka diam fon ka jele ko kumbo. Woka tandilo ko the trauma they are facing with the school, the society, family, and whosoever surrounding them. So what we can say is that ni aja woka ka walla mimbe ke kan suwo kono community to walla school to wala na akake walla. So like pour nyen kama mbatandila jibirlal ning la moy lalla ni mo soto mi yanon ko aka bibile I will keep on repeating this accept aba fango accept la force wala ko follow du lad ibe fango accept la den mul mimbe bala accept comme nga fa nyamin ko mando parents or guardians have a huge role to play. Of course they will have to accept themselves, but the people also around them also have a big role to play. Before your child before your child will be out there and people will be laughing at him or her, ito lang yun ko makatubay as a parent. Ito lang yun takatandi din wala ko. Iman sasa, kuman tarekan, kum ila diyam niya drong, wala fatatanin nindo la diyam niya. Bare, man tarekan, sasa man tarekan. So niyo okay, ibajal ni multara another school outreach, ibajal they will have that confidence. In fact, sometimes we even find it difficult to figure out students who started because they feel exactly. So some students can come and tell us, okay, auntie, uncle, or this, and they can also share their experiences. So when that happens, that will also be applause, or that will also be something that will also motivate others out there, be it young or adults.
Yeah, so so for Aisha, it's not for no fana wulula fana wati dole fana kake moti me yalon ko ka dinu batani so ko me yalon ko le ka bi
wulula dol bije amanke bete bar wulula dol bije me yalon ko to la ka dinu ngol batandi ko me nga fo nyami ibuka pare ke elamoy because aka ke fe ko ning diamo jam fata be la time talal and sometimes ka jelela yalon ni yaje isinyu be jele kay dingola then ita wululale wo opportunity dile la pour ye jele dingola understand so ita la nyanta ke first person to me alon ko ibe wo eradicate la you will have to put an end to it so ni wo keta ibajala ko mul min babala wol fana ba amari accept la nole ya understand so parents ol mom yalan ko dingo ka bibile e dingo man sasa ite nyande ko mo foloti mi yalan ko e be dingo ma ko la pra wo overcome bani take te moti mi yalan ko ni dingo be diam kay ka fay ko ele diam o jam fatale itaria wala bu ka lo fon ke la mo yala wo kala bibiro nyin aka tinale aka traumatize le akala cool hadamadi ya dundi nyokonal because hani be school olto ike jere they are always people that hold themselves ike fongo mutale school olto and student no manyana ka mod kala mod school olto mi yalan ka ba fongo mutale a student must always be inclusive in one way or the other so nite wo nyaay tandi la dinongol ela dinongol ya tandi ko amanke ate fatatala ning ela wo dindol yemi wulu so ni wada karamonto and dalilo mi yanna ya dundi karamonto wala nyinti ko ay ku kata ko anyongol ba ke kanyami wala ko mudol ba ke kanyami so ni te wo tandala ko ate mu sifa dolati wala ala ya tada dar sifa dola ni ngindol man ke kelenti ate ku kelanu amari nyanta mi ngo min kela aba mabulale ya understand asa fiyo ngo fenkelu ko mi modol ka kanyami but nama wo support soto starting from the family ibage la marite ate fen kelanu.
Okay, Jabu, aduna bi defa yombul de.
Yeah.
So what you have to say about that in Wolof?
Okay. Comme kinin ay salum dong wasi mandinka ne ko xamantene wajur yo xamantene ñun ci kër bi dañ wara support sen doom yi da nga gis ne so len support yi ñom sun génné ci biti sax when they think that comme yow yaa leen supporté yow wax nga ne lii nekkul loo xamante ne war na la tara def yeneen yoo xamante ne nit yi ñu ngi ko def ñoom dinañ gën a góorgóorlu dangaa gis ñoo xamante ne xale yoo xamante ne dañ dee det ñun ñu ngee dem si school yi di laajte gaay there was one school bu ma dem ba pare ma laajte benn xale bi yow xanaa classe danga dee participate xale bi mu ne ma déedéet ma ne ko la moo tax doo dee participate mu ne moom daf dee det ma ne ko léegi yow det loolu warul laa tax because it doesn't mean that yow soo startee word bi du jeex it's just that it takes time it's a little different from others waaye mu ne ma comme man su ma waxee my friends laugh or they won't give me the chance when I start the word they complete it and then danga gis ñoo xamante ne they think that when the person starts talking what you do is that you tell the person pause do this that according to some people who sort of say that increase their anxiety because it feels they realize that the way they speak it's not like you are not comfortable with the way they speak.
So you're completing that sentence.
Yes, exactly. Others tell them that you have to pause, drink water, or do this. That increase their anxiety. What you will do is listen to them with patience. Keep eye contact because whenever you are looking away, maybe the person thinks that you are no more concentrating to what the person is saying. Xale bi su ma wax danga ko war a encourage may ko chance mu wax ak siblings yi tamit they are a very big problem in the family. I have seen scenarios where they always looking for trouble for you to start to quarrel with them and then they gis ñoo xamante ne si society bi dañ laa wax ne nit koo xamante ne daf dee gaaw a mer the thing is nekku dafa gaaw a mer is because you don't give them the chance to express themselves at the end loolu dafa nekk a mer si ñoom because ñoom yow dangaa déglu moom dafa déglu nga wax ba pare waaye yow you don't give the person chance to express what the person is feeling at the end moom dafa choose ne to just to sit down and keep quiet and then that might brew anger in the person and at the end people start saying they have anger issues when the thing is you people don't give them the chance to express themselves.
Exactly. But do they really have anger issue? Because like I see somebody who do stutter or do stammer would definitely have an anger issue.
Just like the way I say it is that the people don't give them the chance to express themselves. For instance, if I want to say something here, but whenever I want to say it, I cut of the in the middle of my speech, I say something interrupts me. At the end, I'll be offended because I say it's not giving me the chance for me to complete what I am saying. Maybe I want to say something very important about what I am feeling right now, but I said do not give me the chance. So I keep it to myself. That anger becomes even more, it becomes stronger. And at the end, people might just misinterpret what I am feeling.
Exactly.
When it is actually not my fault.
Yeah, that's right. You're very right. I think people are really interested. The program, in fact, is becoming very interesting. Because I think people, these kind of programs should be coming on TVs, and the visibility should be given to you people to go to the TV shows, and not only TV shows, radio shows. It doesn't matter whether the TV is having 3 subscribers how many subscription, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you make sure
The
that you,
visibility.
exactly, the visibility and also your voice. Because for example, if you are watching us, like you have about 21,000 watching us, you have about 100,000 watching us, when all those people see this, one of them might be part of this, might be a victim. And when the person sees, the person would be able to know what to do and what not to do. I think that is really a move in that direction. Madiralka Kuongu TV, the GBO Generation TV. Many students studio kono be wala mu Jabu Salati and Aisha Sanya. Ibada dame wala student support, student advocacy and support association. I'm sorry for the so you understand. Wala mo ti medialanko ka follow me di medialanko ila lon tan comment wala mol medialanko e ka bibu pour kaje ko finance fan sot non society kono na kabilol kono yari kaje ko fana mu hadama din community be nyamin be a human being just like us. And they have potential. In fact, they have great potential because he made mention somebody. He's deputy here for the job. He's my boss. I think he's somebody who has great potential. I do have a lot of program with him, so I know what he's capable of doing. But it went up. And just 44. I don't even realize that 40 is somebody who stood out. So it went up until you someday he explained it here. So I think this is something me along back. So today we have them here. And they are speaking to us. As you can see, Isa is sometimes mix and blend in Manding Cantonese, and Jabu is also doing in Walla Fan. So I'm sitting on the fence, obviously, because I cannot speak both languages, you understand. So now, Isa, what will be your words to those out there?
Like the general audience or to people who
To
study?
the people who student. Let's start with that.
Okay. For the people who stutters, the thing is you will have to accept yourself. That is the first thing. The first thing is that you will have to accept who you are. Understand that I am somebody who stutters and I am not different from other people. The only difference is the speech differences. Like I said, sometimes this can be genetics. It's from the family, and sometimes we copy it from friends, like we tend to adopt it and whatsoever. So my advice for people who started, speak up always. Like there are always people who are willing to listen. Despite that, maybe the people around you are not giving you a listening ear, but still just go and do whatsoever you think you can do. Speak up, talk to people, be open to people, involve yourself always. There are always people that are willing to listen. And for SASA here, this is an association that advocates for and support the rights of people who started. And also we work on reducing stigma and discrimination against stuttering. So for people who started, like I said, accept yourself, accept who you are, know who you are. If you are talking, do not rush. Always take your time and speak. Like you said, maybe probably Jabu said, is it you or Jabu? Somebody says they have anger issues. Sometimes that anger issues could be social, but sometimes also it could be personal. Because can you imagine if you're somebody who stutters, you don't accept yourself, the first challenges that you have, it will be from yourself, you. So sometimes there are some people that tend to hide their stuttering. They tend to hide it. Like when they are speaking or when they are talking, they will even tend to rush so that people will not notice that bibele. So bibiro amanke sasat amanke fenti. You will just have to understand that bibiro is just kabibi is just kabibi. So nika diamu, as somebody who stutters, you will always have to take your time and speak. Do not rush. And also the other side, to the people around you, if you are speaking, they should always be willing to listen. And as Jabu said, they should always maintain eye contact, because maintaining eye contact will at least the person will at least know that whosoever I am talking to is showing interest. So you will have to maintain eye contact with them. You will have to listen. That is the responsibility of somebody around somebody who stutters. But for you as somebody who stuttered, like I said, accept yourself. Do not always rush. Like when you are speaking, do not always rush. Sorry about that. Do not always rush. And people that are achieving other things are not better than you. Whatsoever they are doing, you can do it. Like I said, this is just a speech difference. So all in all, or all in one, is that if you're somebody who stammers, you will have to accept yourself. And if you are talking, don't always roast. Like I think I came across something which is like, if you're somebody who started, you want to talk, the first thing you will do is, like, whatsoever you want to say, you will have to first say it in your mind. Like, it's just like a rehearsal, sort of. Like, you will have to say it in your mind first. So after that, you will all have this comfort in you. Then when that happens, you will see, you will tend to flow. Like, sometimes people who started, it's not always like they started. Sometimes this can happen in situations or in your surrounding. But sometimes in situations like this, let's say if you're addressing the public and you're somebody who stutters, we know nervousness is can happen to anybody. It's normal to be sorry. It's normal to be nervous. But if you are somebody who started also, more especially if you are, if you want to address the public, what you need to do is, whatsoever you want to say, you want to talk to somebody, let's say, whatsoever you want to say, you have to say it in your mind first. If you say it before saying it out loud. So if you say it in your mind, that will give you that comfort. And then when speaking, you will not have any obstructions. Like, you will just speak normally as any other person. And as I was saying, this stuttering does not always happen. Like, sometimes it depends on the person's situation, or depends on the people they are dealing with. Sometimes when they are around people that accepts them, they will speak slowly. Like, let's look at the example. Let's take Fode Jabai as an example. He is somebody who started, even right now, if you don't like pay much attention while he is speaking, you wouldn't notice that he is somebody who stutters. But how did he manage to overcome this? He first accepts himself. He accepts who he is. So when that happens, people around him also accepts him. So as time goes on, people tend to realize that, oh, so Fode can do this, he can do that, he have these potentials in him. So if you're also somebody who stutters, let's take Fode as an example, and let's also take our president as an example. Currently, he is a first year or second year student at university, and he is also been engaged into community developments and other stuffs, despite he status. So people who status, what advice I will have for you is, or one thing I can say is, accept yourself. Stuttering is not a sign of low intelligence. Stuttering does not mean you are weak. Stuttering does not mean you are sick. Stuttering does not mean you have mental issues or you are a different creature. Stuttering is just a speech difference. Just like how you speak and the way others speak might have a different, because your the way you speak involves, like, sometimes you prolong words, sometimes you have pauses, like when speaking. So that is normal. That has nothing to do with your capabilities. If you start, whether you started or not, we have some people who does not even started, but people who started are doing better than them. Like, so that shows that you can do whatsoever you do. Whatsoever you want to do as somebody who started. Do not be left out. Sometimes some people are left out because they want to be left out. Sometimes also it depends on the society or the people they are dealing with. So before the society accepts you as somebody who status, accept yourself. Like I said, it's not a sickness. It's not a sign of low intelligence. They are intelligent. They are clever. They are also capable. So what they have to do is that accept yourself as somebody who
Thank you
stutters.
so very much, Lester, for that. I think those who stammer would understand it, and they would take this as a lesson to actually improve on themselves, not to be left out just because what the society perceives them. Tando Jabu, what will you say to those out there, those who study?
Okay, I would just say what Isa said. You have to accept yourself. That is what I would say first. And to the people that they are with, you shouldn't be the reason why somebody give up on their dream. Because our VP, Sally Jaju said scenario whereas somebody dropped out of school because of people were bullying him because the person stood up. So in situation like that, the person is being forced. Whenever the person go to school, they laugh, they mock, they bully. at the end, if you are not being that much supported, you don't have somebody that supports you. It's always difficult. So then that is where SASA step in. SASA is an ally to people that's tutor. We are here for you. Just like I said in one of my just like I said before, and if you are somebody that's tutor, you are not alone. It is confirmed that 1% of the world tutor, that is 8 million people altogether. So, and most of them are doing wonders in the world. So do you. If you are somebody that's tutor, you can do wonders just like any other person.
Good. Well, viewers, thank you so very much. And this brings us to the end of our program. And it is our pleasure having them here. And I hope to have more program with them in our subsequent program.
Hopefully,
So, inshallah, we want to thank them for coming. They've really tried all the way from Mahmuda, so all the way from traffic light. Even though you are coming here, there's something that we've seen, that commitment in you. And we hope SASA is a student Advocacy and Support Association is going to move forward with commitment and dedication. And one thing I would tell you is that never give up and never give in. You would have people that will come to your doorstep telling you that why are you even disturbing yourself to have this kind of association? Why don't you go and engage into something more beneficial, more profitable, more important than this? But believe me, you don't know whose life you're going to change tomorrow.
Exactly.
There are people in the schools, in academia, they do stammer, those people are there, they just want to drop out. But so through this kind of association, when you reach out to them and you explain to them that, come on, you are also part of us. Even though, and what is more interesting is that, like, if I told that it is an association comprises only those who stutter or only those who stammer, I can say that, wow, I will not even invite you people here today. But thank God that you have people that do not stutter or that do not stammer, and they are willing to work with those who stammer. So, in fact, those who stutter would be willing to welcome you people, because they're going to say that, these people are living out everything that they have. They are coming to us just to help you. I think when somebody is coming to help, you should also be willing to help. If I can keep on down. If somebody is helping you to wash your back, I think you should also be there trying to help yourself towards the front so that it will make the whole work easier. So we want to thank every member of Student Advocacy and Support Association, and we want to tell them that they are really doing great, and it is really a move in the right direction. Here with me in the studio are Jabusalla, the Deputy IPR, and Jabusanya, Aisha Sanya, the program coordinator. So thank you all, and it is indeed a great pleasure.
You're welcome.